I will have a response today regarding the minimum entry requirement for students that are going to enroll for higher education basing on the new curriculum. Thank you very much.
Is that a matter for the Attorney General or Minister for Education? That's for the Minister for Education.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the Minister for Education had said that they are trying to consult more from the Attorney General. I do not know why. But anyway, you had also said that we'll have a statement today.
Yeah,
Thursday.
I've just done you a favor. I just did everything to accommodate you. And now you want to take all the time with little time I have. Yes. I request you meet those people. Attorney General, did you need to add on anything? Okay. So I request Honorable Minister, then Honorable Sekabira. I can lend you my lounge. Okay, clerk, sergeant, at times I've lent them my lounge here for just for 15 minutes. The minister talks to them. Yeah. And you open a fridge for them. Thank you. Colleagues, I'm going to amend the order paper to accommodate the statement from the Minister of Justice.
Ministerial statement on the implementation of the Supreme Court ruling on civilian trials in the military courts.
Honourable Minister for Justice.
Mr. Speaker, sir, this statement is long overdue, but we have always had it ready, waiting for your guidance. It is in two parts, starting with the status of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Amendment Bill. Because the Supreme Court ruling also made recommendations on the need to amend the law, and in addition, made a ruling on the need to transfer cases to civilian courts. The Uganda People's Defence Forces Amendment Bill has been drafted by the Directorate of the First Parliamentary Council and was forwarded to the Ministry of Defence and Veterans Affairs for scrutiny and comments. In the event that the Ministry of Defence and Veteran Affairs is satisfied with the contents of the bill, they will submit the bill to Cabinet for approval prior to its presentation in Parliament. It is important to note that the Uganda People's Defence Forces Amendment Bill 2024 was withdrawn by the Honourable Minister of Defence and Veteran Affairs. The law has now been revised to take into consideration issues that were raised by the Supreme Court in the case of Attorney General versus Honourable Michael A. Kabaziguruka, Constitutional Appeal number 2 of 2021. The revised bill takes into consideration the structure of the courts martial, persons subject to military law, exceptional circumstances under which a civilian may be subject to military law, arms and ammunition, which are the monopoly of the defense forces, and classified stores and appeals from the courts martial to the civilian courts. Part 2, the status on the number of cases received by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. You'll recall that via a letter dated 4th February 2025, the Honorable Attorney General, in his advice to, among others, the Minister of Defence and Veteran Affairs, Director of Public Prosecutions, guided that A, the General Court Martial, in liaison with the prisons authorities, should provide a list of all criminal cases involving civilians pending before the General Court Martial for onward transmission to the courts to determine the appropriate court to handle the matters. The General Court Martial should provide a list of all pending criminal cases involving members of the UPDF pending before the court martial that fall within the categories of transfer for onward transmission to the courts to determine the appropriate courts to handle the matter. And C, the Director of Public Prosecution liaises with the General Court Martial and the UPDF leadership to take over conduct of the ongoing criminal trials that have been identified for transfer. Pursuant to the advice, the Uganda Prison Authority did submit a list of 423 cases as advised by the Honorable Attorney General via a letter dated 6 February 2025 of the prisoners remanded by the courts martial. Further, we are in receipt of information that the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions has received 45 cases from the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs. The Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs is still preparing to submit other criminal cases to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution as advised, and we will, at the earliest, update this August House when this is done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Rob.